Continuando aqui no Centenário do Reiki, Congresso Internacional de Reiki Online, Johnny De Carli, quem é o nosso próximo convidado?
Pois é, Samuel, uma pessoa extremamente importante na minha vida, na vida de Rita, que marcou presença no Instituto. O nosso próximo palestrante, ele vive e é nascido na África, no país, em Gana. Trata-se do professor doutor Felix Korbla Akorli. E a palestra que será abordada por ele é a difícil missão de ensinar o Reiki no continente africano, na África. Ele tem um belo currículo, né? Um cientista, é um doutor, e fiz aqui um resumo do currículo dele. Ele é graduado em Engenharia Elétrica na Universidade Técnica de Sofia, na Bulgária. Ele tem um mestrado em Instrumentação Médica da Universidade Técnica de Sofia, na Bulgária. Ele tem o doutorado em Engenharia Elétrica pela Pontifícia Universidade Católica, PUC, do Rio de Janeiro, no Brasil, em 1999, no campo de propagação por rádio. É professor titular da Universidade de Ciências e Tecnologia em 𝐒𝐚𝐦𝐮𝐞𝐥 em 𝐒𝐴𝐻, em Gana, desde o ano de 1984. De 2003 até o ano de 2013, atuou na Universidade de Ruanda, onde coordenou o programa de pós-graduação em Ciência da Computação e Engenharia de Telecomunicações. É Rosa Cruz e membro do Conselho Administrativo da Ordem Rosa Cruz Amorque em Gana, África. E é mestre de Reiki desde o ano de 1998. Félix formou 16 mestres de Reiki no Brasil, antes de retornar a Gana no ano de 1999. Desde então, tem realizado iniciações de Reiki gratuitamente, vejam bem, gratuitamente. O trabalho dele é todo social, todo voluntário, não só em Gana, como também na Nigéria e em muitos outros países da África. Então, esse é o nosso próximo palestrante.
Compartilhe com a gente, então, Johnny, alguma dessas histórias que você teve com esse nosso próximo palestrante, com o Felix.
Então, o Félix, ele tinha um pouco de dificuldade, né, com o nosso idioma. Ele veio para o Brasil para fazer o doutorado, foi quando eu o conheci, no ano de 1997, ou seja, faz 25 anos que eu conheci o Félix. E ele vivia de bolsa de estudo, né, uma bolsa de estudo de doutorado. Eu tenho um sobrinho que está cumprindo, né, e fazendo o doutorado, em torno de R$3.000. Com esse valor, ele tinha que viver no Rio de Janeiro, pagar aluguel e manter a família dele, a esposa e as 3 filhas, eram 5 pessoas. Então, com muita dificuldade, ele fez os níveis 1, 2 e 3A, e eu percebi no Félix uma figura diferente, uma figura muito espiritualizada, muito bem intencionada. E no ano de 1997, há 25 anos atrás, quando ele concluiu, que ele me informou que ele estava terminando o doutorado e retornando para a África, e que ele queria fazer alguma coisa pelo povo africano, mas que ele não tinha condições financeiras de pagar o nosso mestrado na nossa escola, que é o Instituto Brasileiro de Pesquisas e Difusão do Reiki. Eu pedi a ele que me procurasse no dia seguinte, conversei com Rita, que na mesma hora aceitou, e nós tomamos a decisão de, quando nós deparássemos com esse tipo de situação, nós concedermos bolsa de estudos. Isso aconteceu com várias palestrantes aqui, o pessoal do Frei Luiz. Então, a gente tem esse trabalho social, mas ficou marcado porque o Félix se tornou o nosso primeiro aluno de mestrado bolsista, que nós não cobramos. E a única coisa que eu pedi ao Félix foi que ele implantasse o Reiki gratuitamente, porque ele estava fazendo, ele já havia me colocado essa proposta no continente africano, e me deu muita alegria quando ele começou a me escrever. Ele me escreveu de Ruanda, me escreveu do Quênia, me escreveu da África do Sul, de Gana, dizendo que estava lecionando. Então, ele literalmente se tornou o primeiro professor de Reiki daquela região da África. E nós felizes, né, com essa nossa iniciativa, e a amizade ela continua até hoje, né? Estamos, já faz muitos anos, ele foi embora em 1998, faz 24 anos que eu não vejo o Félix fisicamente, mas eu converso muito com ele pela internet.
E agora, quem está aqui acompanhando o Centenário do Reiki vai poder acompanhar aqui a palestra com o Dr. Felix Korbla Akorli.
Muito grato. Então, Félix, welcome. E a palavra é sua.
A difficult mission to teach Reiki in Africa. I'm Dr. Felix Korbla Akorli. There is no smoke without fire. I paid for about 10 different books on acupuncture books, in a bookshop located in Copacabana. Just when I was to step out of the bookshop, the storekeeper called me back and the following conversation ensued. The bookshop keeper asked me, "I believe you are not a Brazilian. I really like you." I thanked the bookshop keeper and I told him that I was from Ghana, Africa. I quickly decided to leave the bookshop, but he held me and asked me more questions. "I can see your aura. You are highly spiritually developed. If you want to know, go to this center and take a picture of your aura." He gave me a piece of paper which contained the address, and I left. I was very excited to learn about my aura and also to see the aura reading equipment. I visited the Instituto Brasileiro de Pesquisa e Difusão do Reiki, Brazil. I was at the center to take my photo 𝐒𝐚𝐿𝐴𝐿. That was in August 1997. A week after, I returned to the center to take a copy of my aura and its interpretation. That is what is shown on the screen. The photo showed that my basic chakra was leaking. Thus, I was losing energy. As a result, I was feeling very weak and tired. This was really true. It was true. But I could not explain to the master about what was my problem. He just told me that if you have any problem, you advise either to look for a consultant or to consult a psychologist or to solve the problem by using Reiki healing technique. I thought about it for a while and I opted to follow the Reiki classes. 1 month after the participation and religiously practice the Usui Reiki level 1, I requested for a second photo 𝐒𝐿𝐴𝐿, and it is shown as to be directed. Let's see the photo 𝐒𝐿𝐴𝐿 number 2. The result was marvelous. The leakage has reduced, and it also reflected my feelings and state of being after practicing the Reiki level 1 intensively. I continued with the Reiki class, Reiki level 2, Reiki level 3A, and the pictures are to be shown as you see on the screen. Can we see the Reiki level? The photo number 3. So you could see that after doing Reiki level 2 intensively, this is how my aura looked like. And photo Reiki level 4. Can we see it? So you could see that Reiki actually did a lot of work for me. Because of this and these results and the state in which I was, I decided to do the teacher's level and to become a teacher of Reiki in 1998. What were the experience of Reiki when I became a master in Brazil? My first Reiki student was actually my daughter. That was the reason why I did the Reiki. My daughter was suffering from stress, and she developed infections of ringworms, and this could not be solved for almost 3 years. But when I started to become a master, I was taking the class. What happened was she was my first student I initiated. Within 1 week, the problem of my daughter, who was suffering for almost 3 years, was solved. My daughter was healed. It was there that I swore to myself, I vowed that I'll take Reiki to the highest level. I continued doing a lot of wonderful works in Reiki in Brazil. And one of the experiences I had was I helped a friend whose auntie was stressed and he developed depression. And because of that, I was asked to help using the technique of absent healing, distance healing. We got a result and the lady got healed. That was marvelous. I continued practicing, teaching, and initiating students in Reiki in Brazil. And in 1999, I returned to Ghana after my doctorate degree from PUCI. It is very interesting to know that Ghana or Africa as a whole has a different religious beliefs. They are very, very religious and very strict. Reiki can only be practiced after a proper attunement of using specific yantras on specific energy points on the student. Some masters before the initiation, they pray. However, this does not go well with most Africans. Praying and using yantras on students, they felt that it is demonic and satanic. However, we continued doing Reiki up to now. Therefore, there is actually a difference between African and Brazilian. The Brazilians are open-minded with respect to religion and metaphysical studies, whereas Africans, they are very, very reserved and very cautious what to do. The first group, some of the examples I'll be giving you are as follows. The first group of my Reiki students were 8 students. This group was formed because of a friend of mine who was my colleague in the university. We were in the same department. Unfortunately, I had no center, no place to do this, organize this class. So I had to do the class in his house. When we started the Reiki, the family was so much unhappy. They disturbed the class. It was later on I realized that I was told and realized that they were stopping my colleague for pursuing the Reiki class. Reiki class level 1 normally takes about a day. And finally, when we completed the Reiki, we dispersed. Luckily, after 3 months, the Parkinson's disease, which was the problem of my colleague because around that class, was resolved. And the gentleman could actually hold a glass and drink champagne. Although the family was happy, they were not very enthused that their father or husband or brother participated in Reiki to be healed. A second issue that I have with religious dogmatism in Africa was that a lady who was in class with the others, just when I was to initiate them, I prayed and I mentioned the masters Mika Usui, Sujiro Hayashi, Hawayo Takata. The woman was not happy. He thought I was going to use just the name Jesus Christ. Because I didn't use the name Jesus Christ, the lady decided not to do the Reiki. That means some of these students could not come on. Well, we have people from Metaphysical Society who actually participated in most of my Reiki classes. There are some examples where a well-known metaphysicist participated in my Reiki class. He was so enthused, very happy that I have presented things on chakra which most of his colleagues were not aware of. And he arranged a class for me to give a lecture to his members of his esoteric society. Unfortunately, the authorities, the senior members of the esoteric society, were actually not happy, and because of that, they have stripped him of his position, and he could not continue the Reiki class. In actual fact, there are other people like charismatic churches have their pastors. Some of these pastors, if they actually participate in the Reiki class, they will advise or warn or caution me not to mention it to any of their followers that they come to do Reiki. So you could see that there is a lot of problem for Africans to accept Reiki. Medical officers who have done Reiki are also feel also very bad because they try to apply Reiki to their own patients, but they wouldn't like to encourage their patients to come to participate in Reiki classes. Hence, Reiki was having difficulty. It is not because of Reiki, but because of the cultural, religious fanaticism that we have in our society. Now we can deduce that due to religious belief and cultural setup, expansion of Reiki teaching in Africa is very slow. Some of the Reiki students will not like Reiki to be mentioned on Reiki. So this was a big problem. Even professionals would not like to talk about Reiki, and they would like to be incognito to other people. They would like to use it, but not to use it, to encourage others to use it. Another difficulties we had was the registration. Actually, we have society of traditional healers and spiritual and psychic healers, like those that belong to voodoo practice, traditional religion practice. We would like to register it, Reiki, as an alternative healing technique. But we were being forced to become members of the spiritual traditional group, which we try to refuse. We are still having a lot of talk with the officials of the government or of the center of registration so that we can use this opportunity to register Reiki. Once registered in Africa, in Ghana, then it will be very easy to register it in other African countries, because I travel intensively to apply Reiki to initiate people in Reiki in Africa. I believe strongly that when the hurdle of registration are cleared, and then we could be allowed to advertise Reiki, it will be very easy to get students. It could be very easy, Reiki masters that I'm creating, to give classes. I hope very soon Ghana or Africa will follow the example of Brazil and become a Reiki-driven continent. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Just
Né? Tá, agora abri.
thank you for your lecture.
Thank you very much.
Vamos fazer uma pergunta?
Vamos fazer
We're
perguntas.
gonna ask you
só um
some
minuto.
questions to complement your lecture, okay?
Please do so.
Qual que você quer primeiro?
Peraí, essa aqui. Como é que você se sente? Como é que você se sente em partilhar nesse momento do centenário do Reiki, esse momento especial?
We wanna ask you, how do you feel about sharing your experience during this is Reiki century?
I feel so excited and very, very happy, because my Reiki master, Johnny DeCali, had been encouraging me when I was a student that I have been a Reiki master and I'll be a Reiki master. He encouraged me and gave me this opportunity again to be part of this centenary celebration. I'm so much elated and very, very happy, and I thank him for doing that.
Pode agradecer?
Thank you.
Yeah.
O que você fazia para manter a calma diante dos desafios de serem, por exemplo, a prática considerada coisas do demônio?
We hear what you said about the intolerance about Reiki in Africa, and Samuel is asking how what do you do or what you did at the time, and to deal with this with this
This problem.
situation, like a practice or.
In actual fact, I have over thousands of Reiki students. Ghana is about 30 million people. There are a lot of, I've been a professor in the university, and I have a lot of people who actually approach me. They see me that I'm very healthy, and if I tell them what I do, they wanted to do it. So apart from people who are ignorant, who are very fanatic, there are also people who are looking for solution. And those who are looking for solution, they come. And I tell you, I'm in Kumasi, people are already arriving today in order to participate in Reiki class tomorrow, Reiki level 1 tomorrow. Although we have these problems, I still have people. I do not advertise, but it is people who do Reiki and apply Reiki to others that actually recommend Reiki to them to come and do it. So the problem is that the numbers are not increasing because of the psychological, religious fanaticism, but systematically people are using Reiki now to solve problems. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tava fechado, mulher. Eu tenho que deixar aberto só quando você.
Tá
Porque
bom.
tá gravando, tá
Pode
bom?
falar?
Sim, agora pode.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Espera aí. Para as pessoas que fazem esse curso,
To the people who do Reiki level 1 or like level 2,
ou recebem aí através de você e dessa prática aí na África,
or maybe the ones that receive the energy of Reiki from someone who is a master,
quais os feedbacks, o que eles compartilham com vocês depois de algum tempo de prática ou de recebimento dessa energia?
how do they feel after initiation or after they receive the Reiki energy? What do they share?
Yes, actually, a lot of people apply Reiki to others. Even I have a special case over here when one of my students was able to solve a problem of a friend of his. And because of that, he was recommended that he should help another person. And the person sent his testimony. It is actually because of the application of those who did the Reiki. They continue to do level 2, Reiki level 3A, and do participate in the master's program. I just about 2 months ago certificated about 7 Reiki masters. They have not yet started started classes. So they are actually using the Reiki just to heal. They could not use the Reiki to get money, but just to help others. And it is only through that they get people to come and do the Reiki with them. So a lot of them are practicing, but they are very, very cautious whom they talk to. Otherwise, they take them to be devils or worshippers of Satan. They are very cautious. Thank you.
Você foi iniciado, né, em Master Reiki em 1998. E desde essa época até os dias...
You've been initiated as a master in 1998. And since then,
E desde essa época, quais as práticas, o que é que se mantém até os dias de hoje como uma prática diária do Reiki?
which kind of practice do you keep from this time until now as a diary practice or a regular practice to keep your energy?
I don't know the entrance of hospital in Ghana. Reiki is the one I use intensively. Apart from Reiki, I do yoga. But without Reiki, I could not eat in the house. I do Reiki first thing early in the morning and send Reiki to the world. Because at a particular time, being a Reiki master, you must fall in love with healing the world. And I was taught as a master to do that. Even at level 3A, we start sending Reiki to international organizations where we have trouble spots. I've just sent a message to my students who are above level 2, level 3A and masters, that we should start sending Reiki to Russia and the people in those countries, that place where they are having the war. Almost once every week, we do that with my students.
Muito bem, agora para terminar, para deixar uma mensagem final da palestra.
And to end your lecture, can you say a final words to the people who are watching us?
Yes, Reiki is real. Reiki heals. We should encourage Reiki everywhere. Brazil has a lot of future to be a center of Reiki, where people can converge to do Reiki. People can propagate Reiki. To me, I took the light from Brazil to Africa. There have been very few Reiki masters in Ghana. They are all foreigners, but they are no more practicing. They've all left. So I was the first person, an African, to start Reiki in Ghana. I introduced Reiki in Nigeria, in Rwanda, in South Africa. I go there very often to give Reiki, although there are Reiki masters. I give Reiki class in Kenya and the rest. I'm producing a lot of Reiki masters, but because of the restriction, because of the registration, we are very behind. So I encourage everybody to do Reiki and become part of the Reiki family. Thank you.